The aroma of grilled meat and the sound of clinking glasses filled our backyard as another Morrison family barbecue was in full swing. I stood near the edge of the gathering, watching my sister Olivia hold court with her usual flair, surrounded by adoring relatives. My mother's voice cut through the afternoon air, sharp and deliberate. "Did you hear about Olivia's latest achievement?" She beamed, refilling wine glasses. "Top of her MBA class at Harvard, and already has interviews lined up with major corporations." I took a slow sip of my water, knowing what was coming next. In our family, no celebration of Olivia's success was complete without a reminder of my supposed failures. "Such a contrast to some people," my mother continued, her eyes sliding towards me. "Some of us can't seem to find direction in life. What exactly are you doing these days, Sophia?" Before I could answer, my father chimed in from his position at the grill. "Still doing that consulting thing, right? What do you call it, independent business advisory?" He chuckled, the sound dripping with condescension. I ran my finger along the rim of my glass, thinking about the meeting scheduled for tomorrow morning. The one where Sterling Corporation's board would be finalizing their biggest acquisition of the year. The one where I'd be sitting at the head of the table. "Something like that," I replied quietly. Olivia tossed her perfectly styled hair over her shoulder, her designer sundress catching the late afternoon light. "Well, I have amazing news, everyone." She practically bounced with excitement. "I have an interview tomorrow at Sterling Corporation. They're the biggest consulting firm in the country, and they specifically reached out to me." A chorus of congratulations erupted. My Aunt Susan rushed to hug her. "Oh darling, that's wonderful. They'd be lucky to have you." "Their CEO is notoriously selective," my father added proudly. "They say getting hired there is harder than getting into Harvard." I bit back a smile, remembering the stack of resumes on my desk, including one with Olivia's name on it. She had no idea that Sterling Corporation, the company she'd been bragging about for weeks, was actually my company. The one I'd built from nothing over the past decade while they all thought I was struggling to find direction. "What position are you interviewing for?" I asked innocently. Olivia's eyes gleamed. "Senior strategy consultant. Can you imagine? Starting right at the top." She laughed, then added with mock sympathy, "Maybe once I'm in, I can put in a good word for you, Sophia. I'm sure they have some entry-level positions." My mother nodded approvingly. "That's very generous of you, darling. Lord knows your sister could use the help. 32 years old and still." She gestured vaguely in my direction. "Whatever this is." I thought about my corner office on the top floor of Sterling Tower, with its view of the entire city. About the Forbes article last month that named me one of the most influential CEOs under 40. Though they'd used my professional name, S.J. Morgan, and an artfully shadowed photo that obscured my face. I'd spent years building Sterling Corporation in relative anonymity, knowing this day would eventually come. "That's kind of you," I said softly. "Good luck with the interview." Olivia smirked. "Some of us make our own luck, Sophia. You should try it sometime." The conversation shifted to other topics. My cousin's new car, my uncle's golf game, more of Olivia's accomplishments. I stayed quiet, letting their words wash over me like background noise. Tomorrow would change everything, and I wanted to remember every detail of this last family gathering where they still saw me as the failure. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the lawn, Olivia gathered everyone's attention one more time. "I should head home early," she announced. "Need to be fresh for tomorrow." Sterling's CEO is apparently going to be at the interview personally. "The mysterious S.J. Morgan?" my father asked, impressed. "Nobody even knows what they look like." "Well, they'll love me," Olivia declared confidently. "By this time tomorrow, I'll be part of Sterling's executive team. Maybe then you'll finally have something to be proud of, right, Mom?" My mother wiped away a fake tear. "We're already so proud, sweetheart. At least one of our daughters turned out right." I checked my watch. 14 hours until Olivia's interview. 14 hours until everything they thought they knew about me would crumble. I gathered my things, making quiet excuses about needing to prepare for an early meeting. "Oh yes, your little consulting work," my mother waved dismissively. "Don't forget to send us your share of Dad's birthday gift money. Olivia's already covered most of it as usual." I nodded, not bothering to mention that the little consulting work had made me a millionaire before I turned 30. Let them think what they wanted. Tomorrow would reveal everything. As I walked to my car, the modest sedan I drove to family functions rather than my usual Mercedes, I heard Olivia's voice carrying across the yard. What a waste. Can't even get a real job. I smiled to myself, thinking about the Sterling Corporation nameplate on my desk that read, S.J. Morgan, Chief Executive Officer. Tomorrow Olivia would learn exactly what a real job looked like. And why she would never have one at my company. The next morning I sat in my private office at Sterling Tower, watching the sun rise over the city skyline. I'd arrived early as usual, though today felt different. The Armani suit I normally wore to work felt like armor, my heels clicking with purpose across the marble floors as I reviewed the day's schedule with my executive assistant, Marcus. Your sister's interview is set for 9 a.m., he said, sliding a folder across my desk. She's already in the lobby 20 minutes early. Marketing team says she's been posting on LinkedIn about her upcoming executive position at Sterling. I raised an eyebrow. Confident, isn't she? Marcus smirked. She's been telling the reception staff about how she'll be renovating this floor once she's in charge. Has she now? I opened the folder, reviewing Olivia's resume. It was impressive on paper: Harvard MBA, internships at prestigious firms, glowing recommendations. But I'd done my research. Those internships were arranged through family connections, the recommendations from my father's golf buddies. The board members are curious why you're handling a routine interview personally, Marcus added. Let's call it quality control. I stood up, straightening my jacket. How many interviews did you schedule before mine? 3. All with senior partners who've been briefed. They'll be appropriately critical. At precisely 9 a.m., I watched through my office's one-way glass as Olivia strode into the executive floor, wearing what I recognized as a new Chanel suit. Her confidence was palpable, bordering on arrogance as she shook hands with the first interviewer. Over the next 2 hours I watched her facade crack. Each interviewer systematically dismantled her prepared answers, exposed the gaps in her knowledge, questioned every accomplishment on her resume. By the time she reached her final interview, with me, her perfect composure had wilted. Send her in, I told Marcus. Olivia entered my office, her eyes widening at the spectacular view, the elegant furnishings, the clear symbols of power and success she'd always craved. She couldn't see me yet my high-backed chair was turned toward the windows. Please take a seat, Ms. Morrison, I said, keeping my voice professionally neutral. She sat down, smoothing her skirt nervously. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me, Mr. Morgan. I know how valuable your time is. I slowly turned my chair around. Actually, it's Ms. Morgan. Stay Morgan. The color drained from Olivia's face as recognition dawned. Sophia. Hello, Olivia. I smiled pleasantly. Surprised to see your unemployable sister running the company you so desperately want to work for? She opened and closed her mouth several times, her carefully practiced interview responses forgotten. But this is impossible. You're just a small-time consultant. Am I? I gestured to the wall of awards behind me, the magazine covers featuring Sterling Corporation's meteoric rise. I built this company from the ground up while you and our parents were busy mocking my career choices. Every time you bragged about your MBA, I was closing million-dollar deals. Every time Mom called me a disappointment, I was being named one of the most influential CEOs in the country. You tricked us. Her voice rose shrilly. No, Olivia. You tricked yourselves. You were all so convinced of my failure that you never bothered to look past your own assumptions. I pulled out my phone, showing her my banking app. That birthday gift money Mom mentioned yesterday? I just transferred my share. It's more than you make in a year, but to me it's a rounding error. Tears of frustration welled in her eyes. So what now? You're going to humiliate me? Tell everyone. I don't need to tell anyone anything. Your interview performance today speaks for itself. 3 of our senior partners have independently recommended against hiring you. Too arrogant, too unprepared, too entitled. You set me up. I gave you exactly what you wanted, an interview with Sterling's CEO. It's not my fault you weren't qualified. I stood up, signaling that our meeting was over. I suggest you find another company to work for, Olivia. And perhaps develop some actual skills beyond networking at Dad's golf club. She stood up shakily, her designer suit now seeming like a child's costume. Does Mom know? Dad. They will soon enough. I'm sure you'll tell them all about your interesting interview experience. I pressed the intercom. Marcus, please escort Ms. Morrison out. And cancel my dinner plans with the family tonight. I have a board meeting that requires my attention. As Olivia was let out, I heard her burst into tears in the hallway. Within an hour, my phone was flooded with messages from family members. Mom's came first. What is this cruel joke? Olivia is devastated. Then Dad, how dare you embarrass your sister like this? We raced you better. I responded to their group chat with a single message. You raced me to be successful. Congratulations, you succeeded. Perhaps now you'll understand what real achievement looks like. Then I turned off my phone and focused on running my billion-dollar company. Let them process this new reality on their own time. I had actual work to do. Over the next few weeks, the family dynamic shifted dramatically. Gone were the condescending comments about my career, replaced by awkward silences and sideways glances. Olivia took a mid-level position at a smaller firm, her dreams of executive status shattered. My parents stopped hosting family BBQs. But the most satisfying moment came 3 months later, when Forbes published a full profile on me, complete with a cover photo that showed exactly who S.J. Morgan was. I had copies delivered to every member of my family. The article's title? The Silent Success: How One Woman Built a Business Empire While Her Family Thought She Was Failing. Sometimes success doesn't need to be announced. Sometimes it's better to let it speak for itself, preferably from the CEO's chair of a billion-dollar company.